Since stepping into the limelight as Mr. Grey in the 50 Shades of Grey series, Jamie Dornan has become a symbol of charm, strength and mystery. He was once known as the Lord of the Bedroom of Hollywood, making millions of female audiences around the world fall in love. However, that halo seems to be fading, as a recent role has accidentally pushed Jamie Dornan's career to the brink of the abyss. Not every film is a springboard to take his career to the next level. And in this case, Jamie Dornan is facing a wave of strong criticism from the public, all stemming from the psychological horror film The Hollow Veil. In The Hollow Veil, Jamie plays a man with a wounded inner self, living in isolation and suffering from dissociative personality disorder. The role requires him to portray a psychological breakdown in a brutally realistic way. The director asked Jamie to go into the depths of emotion, forcing him to spend months isolating himself in the woods, not interacting with anyone, and extreme, method acting. And then, when the film was released, instead of being praised for his acting ability, Jamie was fiercely attacked by a segment of the audience. The film was so dark, confusing, heavy and haunting that many people left the theater halfway through. On social media platforms, many people called his role sick, inhuman, and hurtful. A viral post on Twitter, X, with millions of views read, "Jamie Dornan should apologize for making me lose sleep for a week after watching this movie. Maybe he went too far." The criticism continued to lead to a wave of silent boycotts. Brands that had collaborated with him began to withdraw, and upcoming film projects were postponed indefinitely. Jamie's career was in a state of stagnation, as if Hollywood had turned its back on him. Jamie's close friends said that the actor was in a real crisis. In a short interview with The Guardian, he shared, "I knew this role would not be easy to accept. But I didn't think it would be so misunderstood. I just wanted to tell a story about human breakdown. I didn't expect it to make me a monster in the eyes of some people." What made things even more worrying was that Jamie began to appear in public with a haggard appearance, speaking little, and a lifeless gaze. At a recent event in Los Angeles, when asked about future projects, he simply shook his head and said, "I need time to figure out who I am." Many people in the film industry began to speak up for Jamie, including famous female director Jane Campion, who won an Oscar. Jamie Dornan did something incredibly brave, showing his vulnerability to the fullest. "That's what cinema needs, not a boycott," she wrote on Instagram. Some loyal fans have also started a campaign #support Jamie Dornan to defend their idol. But that wave seems not to be strong enough to turn the situation around. Perhaps the most heartbreaking thing is that the role that Jamie once considered the pinnacle of art is suffocating his career. From a Hollywood heartthrob, Jamie is now at risk of being forgotten, not because of his bad acting, but because he dared to go too deep into the darkness of the human soul. Is Jamie Dornan's career really erased? Maybe not, but he has certainly entered a phase where only courage, time and public understanding can bring him back to the spotlight. A haunting role, a very high price, and one question still lingers. Is Hollywood not ready for another Jamie Dornan? Not the bedroom lord, but an artist who dares to expose his own naked brokenness.